Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Lucky back with another one, and today we are going to be doing a deep dive slash review type video for New Gods #1. And if you guys do enjoy this one, I will be making a part two. I already have a thumbnail planned out. Um, I'm very passionate about this book. I love this book so much; it means a lot. It's so much fun. It's such a good jumping on point for everybody. If you want to try to read New Gods as part of the new All In initiative, it also kind of ties in with Absolute Universe in a way. But it's a fantastic series by Ron V and Evan Cagle. And I really wanted to make a review. This is going to be kind of a different type of video today. So instead of doing an overhead shot with the physical copy, I have it all digitally. So, we're going to be doing it kind of like that, but it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try something out that I haven't tried. I want to see if it elevates the video, like if it makes the video go better or if it makes it go worse. So just let me know if you guys like this. If you guys do like this type of video that I'm going to be trying in this one, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I'll catch you guys at the end of the video. Hope you guys do enjoy this one. Alrighty, and before jumping into the interior art, I want to show off the cover and tell you guys a little bit about the characters that are on the cover, the creators, and why this book pretty much happened. So, New Gods #1. It is part of the DC All-In Initiative, which is the new initiative at DC to promote and sell more books. Just relaunching a lot of books, getting new creators on it. It's for their absolute stuff too. Spicing like things up a little bit, at DC. Try to see if these new creators can do, I think, probably sell more than the last creators. It's mostly, I think, because of editorial. I don't know everything. That's just my guess. But you have the old new DC Bullet logo. On the main cover, you have Highfather, Orion, Granny Goodness, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, and Metron. These are very important and key characters to this story. Granny Goodness is not in the first issue, but she is in the second. All these characters are the most important characters in the book, pretty much, because these are your new gods. These are your champions. Like, it's just, once we go through it, you'll learn a little bit more about it. This book is written by Ron V. He wrote Dawn Runner, Swamp Thing, Detective Comics. He's written some awesome stuff. Six Fingers, One Hand, I think. Then you have Evan Cagle. He drew Dawn Runner with Ron V. Evan Cagle's art is insane. Then you have Jorge Fornes. He's done some Batman stuff. He does the first 3 pages of the book. There will be a new guest artist every single issue for the first 3 pages, which is actually kind of cool because I love that. You get a little bit of, you get lore. So those first 3 pages are pretty much lore before you jump into the main, to the main true story. And you have Francisco Segala. I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, I'm sorry. He is the letterer. When you first go to your first page, it is Jorge Fornes. Like I said, first 3 pages. And you pretty much get the narrator is telling us about Amaxazu, because she's witnessed a cataclysm, and Amaxazu, I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, let me know in the comments how you pronounce it. Witnessed this cataclysm, right? And the cataclysm is that Darkseid died. Darkseid died in the DC All-In special. He merged himself with the Spectre, and then he dies. Read that book if you haven't. I'll put an image up on screen. But he dies to create the Absolute Universe. So Absolute Universe is Darkseid's universe. The Absolute Universe is where Absolute Batman is, Absolute Superman, Absolute Wonder Woman, and soon to be other characters. This is his universe. So him being gone sets off a lot of stuff, and that hurts everybody because it's kind of like a balance. Without him, the balance is weighing too heavy on one side, pretty much. But it says here, the great being knew at last that her time had come. She kissed goodbye her favorite star. One last supernova before she stilled herself and allowed her end to bloom. Then You got this beautiful spread page. Jorge Fornes just kills it, bro. It's just keep telling us more, and down at the bottom you have Metron, and pretty much he's at the source wall. The where he is at the source wall, and it's kind of like the source wall is telling him something, telling him prophecy, which you will later on find out. But in this one, it says, in one such dream, she had dreamt that when she died, her being, her memory, would all eventually return to that from which all of this had begun. And then it says the old gods died. So you get a little bit of lore. The first 4 pages, first 4 pages, my bad. Since I guess it was technically a double page spread. So yeah, first 4 pages of each book will have guest artists on it, and you get to hear more, kind of what the source is like, what the source wall is, I guess, and kind of what it's telling you. The Prometheus Codex is telling you it's kind of like I think that's what it's quoting, or that's like, it's just telling you what the source wall is about. It's pure information. The very first knowledge, unattained ideas, incomprehensible, because it is all the many meanings of everything at once. That's pretty much what the source walls is. This page is gorgeous. It has Metron in the Mobius chair. And this is where Evan Cagel's art starts. And this one, it's kind of hard to read what it says. So up at the top, there's words, and they're all kind of like twisted. Ron V did say in an interview that he created his own language for this book, which is awesome. But this says, when the eldest acre is split, shall the darkness beckon, fall upon the ages of gods. In the dwindling hour shall come hence the last avatar made, for whom await the eternal. With I can't even pronounce that word, bro. I've already read this book like 8 million times. I can't pronounce it. Opulence says, 8 laid upon hands, the great steed shall ride. I can't even talk right now, bro. And on its hooves shall follow the reckoning of all. So, like, my bad. I'm the worst reader ever. I'm just kidding. I'm not that bad. Trust me, bro. I'll get better through the video. But awesome art here. Kind of just kind of like, it's kind of like a mystery from what he's saying. But then we jump in straight to New Genesis. If you don't love Evan Cagel's art, I don't know, because his art is some of the most beautiful art I've ever seen in my entire life. But we pretty much get Light Ray and Fastback, and they're just flying around doing their morning patrol. And Fastback tells Light Ray that he nearly forgot. That's why Akala, which is Highfather's main bodyguard, I would say, asked to find him. Because Highfather wants to see him or something. He said it's Highfather. It says, that's why Akala asked me to find you. It's Highfather. He has a visitor. Then you jump right into Highfather and Akala. Akala's huge presence. But then you have the galaxy. And in this, it's kind of like you see kind of what's happening. There's been a shift even since Darkseid died, but there's also something else that's at play here. And pretty much Highfather says, there was a time I could stand here and look upon countless worlds littered before dawn. I knew all their names, and now I am left with only a few. Is there a sadder sight than a fractured sky? Like, oh my God, all these worlds are just gone. And then Metron appears and he goes, you feel it, don't you, Hyza? Darkseid is gone. And you're like, what? You're like, all the new gods feel the Darkseid is gone because of the weight he has and the balance. The balance is off tip, like I've said, and it's crazy because it's funny because Metron pretty much goes, perhaps you mourn him more than you'd like, and this is my true first New Gods book. this book has literally made me want to go back and learn a whole bunch about these characters. So I'm going to this year. That's one of my goals. Is I want to learn a lot about some of my favorite characters this year. Just and like teams. I want to learn a lot more than I did last year. Um, but Metron and Highfather have this fun little conversation. It's not even fun. It's just they have a like they Metron doesn't he kind of always does his own thing from what I've gathered because he has the Mobius chair and he's just Metron. He's crazy because he has everything in knowledge pretty much just in his head because of the Mobius chair. But how Father says, your tongue has lost none of its venom, Metron Doomcrow. And in these halls you will yet call me father. Or High Father, sorry, my bad. Because Metron called him by his first name, and he's like, nah, bro. You call me by what everybody else calls me here, High Father. And then he goes, whether you like it or not, I speak the words as they were told to me by the source, my High Father. The prophecy is made, Darkseid is dead, and the forces of balance that held all of creation have fallen from their pre-incarnacious dance. And then you get to see a new villain. And Ron V did say he's kind of like a scavenger, but you learn more about him in the next issue, so I will not. You just get to see his awesome art, okay? I won't tell you anything about him. But then Metron gives us a prophecy. And this prophecy says, Then on the earth shall awaken a child, a new God, and all that we know and hold to be true shall be changed. We will be saved, or is this a harbinger of doom? Who is to tell? And then Highfather asks Metron, what is it you would have me do, Metron? Like, what would you have me do to pretty much stop this prophecy of either this kid being what we need, the savior, or or our doom? And then it's just Metron just goes, mine is to prophesize. I am but a doomcrow after all. So he just gives him a prophecy. And then Highfather goes, Akala. Highfather, Akala says. And Highfather goes, where is my champion? And you're like, oh, okay, let's go, Light Ray. He's hype. He's like, what would you have me do, Highfather? And Highfather says, not you, child, not for this task. Where is Orion? Oh my God, bro. I'm over exaggerating it a little bit, okay? But I love this book so damn much because it's so much fun. You get to learn lore. You get put in right to a brand new beginning that you can understand and you can learn from, and you get to build with these characters, and you get to keep going on this history Ron V is going to tell us, because Jack the King Kirby created these brilliant characters, and they don't ever get loved because their books never sold that well. But now things have changed. I'm going on a rant. I'm sorry. So our boy Orion is on Uxtram 6, the moon of Blue Mark, Mining Corporation Planet, Sector 1209. Then we get these little chaps drinking some coffee, talking about what these parademon or what the warehousings do, pretty much. And all you see down here says crash, bang, boom, boom, and then you see some parademons, and we get our first look at Orion, and holy shit, I love his design so much. It's so badass, so much fun. It's just, I love how big he is, how tall, his presence, it's sick. But he pretty much says, worms, you've nothing to do with yourself now that your lord is gone, so you come crawling out of the dark. Oh, and he goes, he is dead, and I am your reckoning. Because, bro, Orion's just beating the shit out of these parademons, bro. Talking mad shit, too. He's hunting them down. And it's like a fun thing because you get to, if you don't know about Orion already, you get to learn a little bit more about him. But Evan Cagle did these awesome introduction pages of each character, pretty much. Like Orion's is sick. Highfather calls down to him, and he says something has, and then Orion is telling Highfather pretty much that something stirred away Apocalypse's parademons, and they now are going across worlds and all this kind of stuff. And he came across them. Um, he's just talking mad shit low key about these parademons. And High Father goes, I have a task for you, son. One that you must undertake without question. And Orion goes, yes, High Father, what would you have me do? And then we get sent to the goat, Mr. Miracle and Big Bart. The goats, Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. They had a baby. Um, and this fun little cute moment here is just I love this because he's like, Barda, the baby pooped. like bro, it's fun. And then he's like saying she's like, oh, I think she's got some on her. Like it's on him and it's on her. And Barda's just like, hey bro, give me 5 minutes. She's like, just give me 5 minutes, Granny. I swear I'll be up. And then you see Orion pass by the couch. Scott singing his little girl song. He's like, oh, we gotta throw that away. Covers up Barda, and then he goes outside and sits on the bench. And then he's like, thank you for waiting. And then Orion's like, hello, Scott. And then he's like, and not waking the baby. That's very much appreciated. It's been a long time since they've seen each other, and Orion pretty much explains what High Father has asked him to do. He said it. But I'm here because Metron has made a prophecy. And Scott goes, a prophecy has been made. Orion goes, a new god, a child shall awaken here on earth. And I, champion of New Genesis, tongue twister on accident. Or I would just stutter. It's either or. But Mr. Miracle, Scott, he goes, champion of New Genesis. Like, yeah. And then he goes, Orion goes, have been tasked with High Father as commanded me to kill him. And you're like, what? Like the same reaction we have is the same reaction Scott has, which is saying to what? And then he pretty much, like you gather, because it is a child, but he tells him that. And he's like, bro, do you hear? Scott's like, do you hear yourself? You've been asked to kill a child, which is like, you're like, you would do this? And Orion says, you don't think I know? I have never, not once in my life, disobeyed High Father. This is why I had to come to you. And he says, you are Mr. Miracle, the only one I would trust to escape me. And Mr. Miracle is like, bro, I'm not doing this. Like, I have a kid. I have a wife. And you haven't even come to see her until today. And there's already so much happening with Barda because she's in the Birds of Prey. I hear that series is amazing. And then his baby, he's just trying to be her dad, you know? And it's just like he has so much going on. He's like, you think I'm going to leave my family? And then you get this dialogue that says, maybe if I had a father, I'd know how, but I was thrown to the pits because New Genesis and you had to be saved. I've had to escape my circumstances since I could breathe. I don't want to escape this because he's happy with his life, bro. The life he built with Barda, they just had a kid. It's amazing. And Orion goes, look at me, Scot-free. And then you see his true face because Orion is the son of Darkseid. And you're like, oh my God. Some people are like, oh my God, I never knew that. You know me, comic book enthusiast that I am. I knew that. But he says he knows the son of Darkseid will follow his command even to terrible ends. I will kill this child if I find him. But I know you, Scott. Don't let me do this. This God child is like you, an innocent thrown into the games of gods. You abandon him now, you abandon yourself. And he's like, bro, just stop talking. Bro's just like, you can pretty much convince me. And then Orion walks away and says, 7 days. And you're like, oh my God. And then we get sent to India. And this is where you get the parents and the new god. Maxwell Lord is chasing them. But they're pretty much running, trying to get to the trains. These guys are finding them. And then one of the bad guys says, found them. I have them in my sights. Please advise Mr. Lord. And then Mr. Lord says, I want the kid unharmed. Aside from that, You're clear to take the shot. Boom! Blast through his kneecap. Can't walk. He's like, run, Kamala, and run for the tracks. And then she's like, what? She can't. Like, they're surrounded. And then you get this narration. It says, in the dwindling hour shall come hence the last avatar made. And you see this baby, this child transforming. It says, the great steed shall ride, and on its hooves shall follow the reckoning of all. The falling sky, part 1. And it says, and the new gods were born to be considered. Oh my God, this shit's fire. And you get the first image of the new gods. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, this is my little in-depth breakdown. I hope I could help. I hope that you want to read this book too. Yeah, but I really hope you guys did enjoy this one. I really appreciate. Yeah. I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Alrighty. And that is the end of the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy this one. I had a lot of fun making this one. Trying out some new things. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Let me know down in the comments what I could work on. If you guys would want to see another video like this. If you want to see a series where I do every single New Gods issue that comes out. Because I would love to, because this book is amazing. And then if these do well, maybe I'll even do some other series that are coming out, because there's so much good stuff coming out in the comic book world right now. And yeah, I really just hope you guys did enjoy this one. My final review, my rating of New Gods is probably, of number 1, it's probably a, low-key, it might be a 10. I don't know. I've always wanted to learn more about these characters, get into these characters that Jack the King Kirby created. And I think I really found my time, and it's so much fun. There's so much happening. You get to learn so much. There's new lore. It's a lot. And I think that for me, it hit me a different way, because I love these obscure characters. And some people don't. Some people just like your big 3, your Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, or Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, blah, 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 right? People love those big 3. I love these obscure characters, and this is kind of what I like. So I think that's why it's such a high book for me. There's things that can change, so it's probably not a definitive 10 out of 10. But for me, it's just fantastic. But I hope you guys did enjoy this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.